Hi, I'm Margaret Pauly, and I'm the culinary nutritionist for the UAMS Culinary Medicine Program. And I've been working with Mandy Corbett of Stocked Reddie to help offer some different recipes for some of the offerings that you find at Stocked Reddie. And it's wonderful how you have so many great options there. But it might be something you see and you say, well, what do I do with that, okay? Or how can I do something different? And I know that we're all busy, you get the families to take care of, yourself for that matter, and dinner sometimes is the last thing you might be thinking of. But I love to cook, and I love to show people how to cook maybe in a more healthy way. So one of the items that I've always been intrigued with at Stocked Reddie is this golden rice. It is from an Arkansas farmer, and in fact, if you didn't know it, Arkansas is the largest producer of rice in the country. Yay, Arkansas. And this is a golden rice, which is a whole grain, so it's like brown rice in that sense, but it cooks in about the same amount of time as white rice, so a whole lot quicker, because brown rice can take about 45 minutes. And I made some of this last night for dinner, and it was really tasty. So I've got some leftover, and what I wanted to do is to make some fried rice for you. And what I did when I was looking for a recipe to use, I went right to the website of the supply. This is Ralston Family Farms, and they have a website on their package, and that's what I looked up for a recipe. I'm just going to tweak it a little bit. So the recipe I found was a breakfast fried rice. Now, normally fried rice is not all that healthy because it depends on, well, fried should give you that clue, but the thing is that we might use bacon in it, and that's what this one uses. But I used something that was also at Stocked Reddie, which is this ham. And this is a boneless cooked ham. It is ham. It's not, some kind of mystery meat, so don't worry. And it does tend to be a little high in sodium, though, just like bacon. But unlike bacon, it has very little fat, so that's a good thing, right? So it's going to give us a little bit of flavor, but maybe not as many calories and as much fat as bacon. So then I started looking around and like, what else do we have? But we had the mixed vegetables, and sure, it has corn and peas in it and carrots. It has a variety, very low sodium again. So I like to add things instead of taking away. So yeah, I took away your bacon, sorry, but I'm adding ham instead, and most of us like ham. If you don't, you can do without that. But adding vegetables is a great way to add some more fiber, some more nutrition, more vitamins and minerals. So let's add some veggies to our fried rice. Oh, I need some eggs too. Excuse me, just a moment. Let's see. All right. You can't have fried rice without eggs. So I have to tell you, when I was a kid, okay, you might not know this about me, but I was a military brat. And I remember one of the favorite dishes my mom used to make for all of us was a fried rice that she learned to make from a woman who had lived in the Philippines. And to this day, I will make it probably once or twice a month just because I love it so much. And it's very similar to what I'm going to make for you now. And the thing we're going to do is, I've got my burner on. Oh, before I start, just remember you need to have cooked rice. So make a little extra sometime. You don't want it warm, so you want it cold. So you could always spread it out in a pan to cool it off before you use it if you didn't make any extra. But it's just a good way to use up leftover rice. It's also a great way to use up leftover vegetables in your fridge, or if you have something in the pantry in a can. So this one is breakfast fried rice. It says to have the bacon diced, but we're using the ham. So this is about a cup of that ham. All right, just throw that in there. And it also calls for some green onions. I did put a little bit of olive oil in there, about a tablespoon, because it's not going to have the grease from the bacon. So, and olive oil, as we know, is a much healthier fat. So, okay. The green onions are nice because sometimes people don't like that, like a regular onion taste, but green onions, they're kind of mild. Other things you could put in here, you could maybe put in a little bit of pepper, like red pepper or green pepper, bell pepper, not jalapeno, unless you like it spicy. That's okay too. Okay, so that's starting to cook. And since most of this is already cooked, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in the vegetables too. So isn't this a great meal for anytime? I mean, you get home, instead of going through the drive-through, ordering out to be delivered, you could just have this ready, and oh my gosh, it'd be so quick to make, and people are going to love it too. So, all right. And I like the recipe here. This is from the Ralston Farms, and they said there are no rules when it comes to fried rice. I agree. And it says you're only limited by your imagination. That's perfect. Love that. I think that about cooking in general. You're only limited by your imagination. I mean, it's good to have a few basics down pat, and but if you can scramble an egg, you can make this. Okay. All right. Basically, since these are already cooked, we're just heating them up. So let's go ahead and throw that rice in too. Get that coated with the little bit of oil we put in there. It'll mix up with the rice. Oh boy. Okay, I'm getting hungry. This is just looking too good. Like I said, fried rice is one of my favorites. Something else I do, I might have some broccoli, cauliflower. Oh, and I also take the cabbage or coleslaw mix, and I will throw that in here. For other flavorings, I might grate some ginger. That's always good. So if you're worried about carbohydrates, okay, a lot of people are. This has 2 cups of a whole grain, and so therefore this would. If you mix, let's see, we could probably serve 4 people with this, okay? But if you look at it, let me see if I can throw that. You can see that there's a lot of vegetables in here, so you're cutting back on the carbohydrate with some other lower carb vegetables like the carrots. Now peas, yes, they are also a carbohydrate, but they are starchy carb. They do have more carbs than the carrots, but they are still very healthy. Same with the corn. Corn gets a bad rap, sorry, but corn is a whole grain as well. So all that fiber helps keep you full longer. It slows down the breakdown of the carbohydrate into sugar that goes into your bloodstream. So I love whole grains. All right, so we're gonna just put this to the side here. Hope you can see that. And then we're gonna take 2 eggs. And we're gonna scramble them over here. Okay. I'm gonna just kind of put my pan over here and start scrambling. And the egg is going to add a nice high quality protein to the meal. So this is a complete meal right here, all right? You got some vegetables, you've got some whole grain, and you've got protein. Now, again, this is the simplest way you can make this. You could add a little soy sauce. You want to be careful, buy that low sodium one. I also like a little sriracha on mine, I like it a little bit spicy. But again, just like the recipe says, you're only limited by your imagination. So. These are recipes that are handy to have around for when you need pantry meals, okay? When you just don't have time to think about eating, or eating, not just eating, but cooking, excuse me. But, you know, it's just something you can do quick like that. You don't even have to think about it, and can be on the table in like 15 minutes. Okay. Those are my favorite kind of meals. Okay, that's scrambling up now. Now, if you don't like eat eggs, like you don't have if you don't want the ham, because just say you want to make this vegetarian. Oh, that's a good question right there. If you want to make this vegetarian and no eggs, you like, you know, vegan, you can take scrambled tofu, and you take a firm tofu, drain it off. You don't have to press it because you don't, you know, you're making eggs, you know, kind of like eggs out of it, so it doesn't have to be super dry. And then take a little turmeric to you know, maybe about a half a teaspoon, or maybe even a teaspoon, depending on how deep you want the color. Turmeric will give it a really nice yellow color, and won't really change the flavor all that much, but it'll look like scrambled eggs. Trust me on this. Okay. This is scrambling up nicely. Yeah, and you know, again, you know, put anything in here you want. And making it this way at home is going to be so much healthier for you than going and ordering it from the takeout. Okay. I was out for Chinese not too long ago, and the fried rice I had was basically just white rice. I mean, I didn't see any of these vegetables in there. I didn't see any egg. It was a little disappointing, frankly, because I'm used to mine, which has, you know, a ton of stuff in it. Now, other ways you could use this rice, if you wanted to, you could make a pilaf using some of these same ingredients, okay? You could saute up a little onion and have those vegetables all heated up, cook your rice, and then just mix them again, and without the egg, and maybe put in some garlic. I would in some herbs, and you would have a nice rice pilaf as a wonderful side, and you already had the vegetables in it. Okay, now I'm ready to mix with the egg here. Oops. Someone on the floor, but that's okay. I have a little dog. He likes to. He likes it when I cook. So, all right. I will have this recipe and any others that I cook on the Stocked Reddie website for y'all. So, and I would really love to hear how you enjoy some of these recipes, or what you've come up with. I know we have some very imaginative people out there that love to cook, and they love to use the product and make it their own. So, all right, so there, that is done. So just so you can see, I hope you can see that. The light might be a little bit weird, but it's got lots of vegetables, whole grain rice. Some of the vegetables are also whole grain, the corn. And then we've got the protein from the egg, and we also have a little protein from the ham, of course. And we've changed this to be a little healthier because we've taken away that bacon, which was in the original recipe. We do want to be careful of the sodium, but the vegetables were low sodium, everything was low sodium except for the ham, and we just used a little bit of it. So I hope you enjoy this recipe, and I look forward to talking with you soon next time we have another cooking demo. Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye.